Welcome to Drunk Bible Study. This show's mission is to read every single word of the greatest story ever told. A warning to our listeners, the hosts of this show are sinners, but they're doing their best. There will be drinking and there may be some swears. They did say they'd try to keep it clean, but I wouldn't put my money on it.
I'm Emily, and this is Drunk Bible Study, where my good friends Dedeker and Jace teach me, a born and raised atheist, all about the Bible. So, Jace and Dedeker, you are both sitting next to me today. How awesome is that?
It is
I'm
super
great.
awesome.
I don't know how you two are, but I'm great.
Well, Dedeker's probably still super jet lagged.
I am, but this is the time.
But she's woken up
Yes,
now.
this is the time my body
past
thinks
6.
that now these very, very late hours is the time for me to be awake, and so I feel great.
Good.
It's also, for our listeners at home, it is worth noting that this is one of the first Drunk Bible Studies in a while where all three of us are drinking at an appropriate hour for drinking.
Oh, that's true.
Because usually...
Yeah, the two of us, when I was in Shanghai and she was in Singapore, we were drinking at like 10 a.m. for us.
All
Right.
those breakfast drinks.
Yeah, I was like, let me try to find some sort of breakfast beer.
Yeah, it was the kind of thing where I had to clear my entire day.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
I would like stumble out in it because those were on my days off. So I would stumble out into the road and be like, what am I going to do now?
road.
No, well, not into the road, but like onto the sidewalk. And I'm like, what am I going to do now?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Nothing.
But now it is 10 p.m., so this is a completely acceptable time for us all to
Everything
be
is
drinking.
right. Everything is right in the world. We're in the
Right
same
in the world.
place. We're at the appropriate time.
Perfect.
It is as it should be.
But
Yes.
you know what I'm not sure if we're doing right, though?
What?
Is any number of things that Jehovah, God, Yahweh might be telling us very
Adonai,
specific
apparently.
rules about.
Oh, definitely not.
Yeah.
Probably none of them because I, for one, will not be sacrificing any living creature ever.
Well, I, for two, have been eating a lot of trans fat in the past week or so.
Right? For those of you who didn't listen to our bonus episode last week, we did talk about a theory that God's rules were actually just about prohibiting trans fats.
I
which is
appreciate that
pretty
to a
great.
degree.
Yeah.
So, yes, I mean, what else did we do last time? What else did we talk about? Oh, gosh. I
Yeah.
don't know.
It was
More of the
still
same?
More of sacrificing. It was about, Aaron and his sons needing to put on special clothes to be able to carry ashes out to other places.
Yeah,
was
it was
that.
about like when they change their clothes
Yes.
in the process.
Yeah, exactly. And like when they put on their little breeches and stuff like that.
Oh, cute.
And like what they had to do if they got blood on their clothes. They were like, remember they had to wash them in a
Yes.
thing and then break it or like,
Or really scrub it out.
yeah.
Yeah.
Damn spot. Yes.
Right.
And about like what they could eat and couldn't eat and like what could be left. And we got thrown a curveball by Yahweh where he was like, leavened cakes. Great.
Oh, right.
Just for this particular scenario.
Just one scenario, though.
I think it was
God
like
forbid
it was like
you
the peace offering.
do it. Yeah.
Or the
Only the peace
Thanksgiving?
offering. Or the Thanksgiving
Oh,
offering.
yeah.
think that's
There's
what it
that.
was.
So Thanksgiving must have come from the Bible.
Well,
Right?
I mean, no.
Well, no, the word.
I mean, I don't know if the word comes.
The word comes from English, and the Bible was then translated into English. The original word for Thanksgiving was something in Hebrew. Are we going to tell you what that something is? No, because we haven't Googled it.
Yeah.
All right, touche. Fine. All right. So the three of us are all drinking the same thing because we're all in the same room. So what are we drinking?
We're drinking some hot sake together.
Yum.
Great.
Because
And-
why not?
Earlier, we were drinking some cold sake, and it was called Snow Beauty.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Snow Beauty, and it was good. I liked it.
Yeah, this is just your basic shochikubai, nothing terribly exciting.
No.
But we did all have Japanese food earlier, too.
That's
so
true.
it's kind of a whole theme.
Pretty
for the
solid on a
evening.
nice kind of chilly evening. Kick back with some warm sake and
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
it is not a chilly evening. It has been very cold here, and I know that you're coming from Singapore, and so like anything below
Everything's
70
chilly,
No,
yeah.
like anything below 70 degrees is freezing, but
to anything below 80 degrees.
I guess you're right.
Yeah.
When it was like 71 at work today and the sun was beating down, it was like, good Lord, it is hot. And then I'm like,
71?
yes. And I was like, oh, wait.
Wait.
Maybe this is just because I've been perpetually cold for the last 5 months.
that
Yeah,
would make
probably.
sense.
Yeah.
So what exactly are we tackling today?
That's a great idea.
Right.
Question.
Today we're continuing on Leviticus with chapters 8 through 10. 3 more chapters today. And I'm pretty sure we're moving on past sacrifices.
Oh, good.
That's a great...
I don't know for sure, but
great.
I'm fairly confident.
Love it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I guess I'm the one starting us out today, huh?
Yeah.
Well, we want to remind all of our listeners to read responsibly and drink responsibly.
You can drink your hot sake along with us, or you can listen to us while you're in the car.
But do not do both at the same time, because you will be drinking and driving, and you will probably spill that hot sake all over you.
Oh, it's going to burn bad.
Yeah, burn, baby, burn.
Yeah. And with that, Leviticus 8. Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, "Take Aaron and his sons with him, and the garments, and the anointing oil, and the bull of the sin offering, and the 2 rams, and the basket of unleavened bread, and assemble all the congregation at the door of the tent of meeting."
Okay, what's it going to do with this collection of items? I think it would be really ironic and maybe a little bit funny if he was then like, now you're going to sacrifice Aaron and his sons after we've gone through all this rigmarole of what they're supposed to wear.
Aaron is like a chosen boy. I don't think that that's going to happen.
Well, so is Isaac. And the Lord wanted Abraham to sacrifice Isaac. Maybe he could put Moses through another test.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, maybe. But and also all the congregation. So everyone's going to be there watching.
Literally
too.
everyone.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. I'm interested to see what happens.
Or is Yahweh finally going to be like, now you can come in the tent? You
That'd
had
be
to wait.
nice.
Yeah.
You had to wait for me to get dressed.
Yeah. It's taken me a few years.
Because he was talking to him about a bunch of stuff. And so that took precedent over Moses being able to go into the tent.
Okay, maybe that was it.
I'm
He was
assuming.
just
I don't know.
I'm just not ready for you yet.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think that's what's going to happen, but
All right,
here we
fine,
go.
Fine.
Moses did as Yahweh commanded him,
course.
and the congregation was assembled at the door of the tent of meeting. Moses said to the congregation, "This is the thing which Yahweh has commanded to be done."
What?
Okay.
It's like, I don't know, man.
I don't know why we're here.
But we are, because Yahweh said we should be.
You know, it's funny. I was just realizing that at work, I use a very similar line pretty often with people like people who I'm kind of managing will sort of push back on certain things. And I'm like, look, this is the thing that the owners commanded to be done. What do you want from me?
You're like, calm down, bring me that bulb like I asked you the first time.
Exactly. I don't know why it's so hard to get our employees to bring the bull and the 2 rams and the unleavened bread, but
There you go.
anyway. Moses brought Aaron and his sons and washed them with water.
Oh,
It's like, you're some dirty boys.
yeah. We're going to wash them in front of y'all. You got to see it. You got
yeah.
to watch it
You kind of put on a wet t-shirt contest in
yeah.
front of the whole congregation.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Okay.
dude, that's totally what just happened.
Dang.
That is what this was. Okay.
Everyone's whooping and hollering.
Can you imagine?
That's when you read the Bible, I tend to think of it as all being pretty somber.
Very austere.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're
what if-
filling in the blanks here.
Yeah,
okay?
everyone's like, yeah, hell yeah.
I like the idea that everyone's whooping and hollering. That's great. He put the coat on him, tied the sash on him, clothed him with the robe, put the ephod on him, and he tied the skillfully woven band. Cannot emphasize enough.
Anytime that phrase, skillfully woven or skillfully crafted or whatever, I never don't think of Legends of the Hidden Temple and Olmec.
Really? What about just the phrasing of
The
it?
Shrine of the Silver Monkey. That's every single time. That's the voice in my
ephod of
head.
the skillfully
Exactly.
woven band. Okay.
The curtain of the skillful weaver. It's Olmec 100% of the time.
That's great.
I don't know what this is.
I think Legend of the Hidden Temple was a little bit before your time. Because it was a little bit before my time.
Oh, okay.
But your older sister watched it. Or something.
No, I didn't even watch it till I was in college getting stoned and watching.
Oh, I see.
Well, that makes
I
sense.
see. Because I
Yes.
definitely watched it when it was on TV when I was
Oh,
a
I
kid.
see.
Oh, okay, yeah,
okay.
yeah.
We'll have to show you some clips from Legends of the Hidden Temple. You'll appreciate it.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. There's some funny parody videos of it on YouTube's as well.
Oh, I'm sure.
Okay, so, and the skillfully woven band of the ephod on him, and fastened it to him with it.
With
Cool.
the band.
With
Great.
the band. Okay,
Yes.
it's like, what? Okay. He placed the breastplate on him, and in the breastplate he put the Urim and the Thummim.
Now
Meaning, is that the oil?
No, we've encountered these two characters before. I did look it
Wait.
up. It was like some divination tools.
Right.
Like it was kind of like some kind of like I think stone-based tool where it's like the Vikings used to cast runes
Right.
in order to divine the future of things or get an answer, and it seems like the priests also had a similar kind of divination tool for divining Yahweh's will.
Yeah.
Wait, but it says that in the breastplate he put the Urim and the Thummim.
Well, don't you put stuff in your bra all the time?
Yes, actually, sometimes
See?
when I'm walking from like the office back over to the restaurant, I put my money in my bra.
Yeah, my grandma used to call it your upper pockets.
Oh, there you go.
Apparently, most scholars today think that the Urim and Thummim were a lot oracle.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, like where
drawing
you
lots,
casting
kind of,
lots.
casting
Yeah.
lots. Yeah. But this is by no means certain because they're never described.
They're just people assume that obviously what it is.
Interesting.
Yeah, they're mentioned in Exodus and Leviticus, but they're never described.
Huh.
However, they are stored in the breastplate, as we've just learned, so they must be a physical thing
Wow.
Yes,
and not just,
a metaphysical thing.
And I
like
also don't
Navi,
think...
like little spirits,
Oh.
who are like, listen.
Listen! Sorry. Also, I don't think that the breastplate is a bra per se.
No, it's the thing with all the stones in it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But like
you
one
could-
couldn't like put like something in there. It's not like a cup.
Well, it might have a little, I assume it has little holsters for your...
Little
Urim
I
and
mean,
Yes.
to be
Thummim.
fair, that was not in the very specific instructions.
You're right. You're absolutely
So-
right.
Sure, yeah.
So they would
Yeah.
have made him do it all over again if
Yes.
they had like ornamental pockets.
Maybe there was like a special kind of like mount for them because it has the stones mounted in it. So maybe it's kind of like
Yeah.
like you kind of just stick it in the slots.
Oh.
Big-
And
Cool.
then you activate the priest.
There have also been,
Priest
I think a
active.
few years have gone by since then.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
so
now,
maybe they like
they've
upped
upgraded.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
we
I
didn't
like
hear
that.
about it, but
I like that.
Yeah,
All
some
right.
like mods that God had installed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He set the turban on his head, and on the turban in front he set the golden plate, the holy crown, as Yahweh commanded Moses.
I kind of have an image of like that scene in Cinderella when like the mice and the birds are like dressing her and stuff.
Oh.
I just can't get out of my head exploding princesses. And-
Well, keep listening. Maybe that's what's going to happen.
Oh, exciting.
boy.
And then he exploded just as the music crescendoed.
Bippity boppity boo.
Okay, Moses took the anointing oil and anointed the tabernacle and all that was in it and sanctified them. Wait. And all that was in it. Does that mean
Right.
he could go in it?
Inside the tabernacle? Yeah, seems that way. Seems that way.
So I guess Moses can
Well, because
go
Yahweh's
in now.
dressed now. He's not in the shower anymore.
But this has never been made clear. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It almost makes me wonder if
Oh,
the
yeah, you're
previous
right.
thing of him not being able to go in was like a weird translation somewhere along the way.
Or what if it was just like just until everything's ready? And now that we're able to
Maybe.
have this big ceremony where everything's ready, now you can come in.
Yeah,
And
it's
if
like
that part
God was
got-
getting ready to go on a date with Moses.
Oh.
Oh,
And he was
that's
like, don't
cute.
come in, don't come in.
Yeah.
Not yet.
You can't see the bride in her wedding dress.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
This relationship between Moses and Yahweh is just getting weirder and weirder and weirder.
Yes,
Yeah.
we've already discussed. All right.
He sprinkled it on the altar 7 times and anointed the altar and all its vessels and the basin and its base to sanctify them. He poured some of the anointing oil on Aaron's head and anointed him to sanctify him. Moses brought Aaron's sons and clothed them with coats and tied sashes on them and put headbands on them.
Fun.
I'm sorry, the image is, it was so very
He's just
like
dressing them.
pronounced and like there was a clear order to things when he was dressing Aaron, but this kind of like he put sashes on them and he put headbands on them. I just see him like he's decorating a Christmas tree. It's just like
totally.
wherever.
Just going crazy.
It's like when
yeah.
you let your 5-year-old niece like do your makeup or whatever, and it's
Oh,
just
boy.
like willy nilly or like
Yeah.
random braids coming out of your head and stuff like that.
Yeah, clothed them with coats, tied sashes on them, put headbands on them, as
You know.
Yahweh commanded Moses. He brought the bull of the sin offering And Aaron and his sons laid their hands on the head of the bull of the sin offering. He killed it, and Moses took... I was waiting for Emily to cry.
Okay, actually, that's a good moment. Emily, you'll be really happy to hear that your fellow vegans totally came through for you, because we got a review for this show where someone was like, I love the show, it's so great, but I really don't like the way, as a fellow vegan, I don't like the way that Dedeker tosses out anti-veganism arguments at Emily.
Whoa. I mean...
Which I don't think are necessarily anti-veganism
yeah, I was
arguments.
like, what anti-veganism arguments?
I don't know. I think saying like these people are always going to kill animals. You need to get used to it. I guess something like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm never going to get used to it.
But I will
Hashtag
say,
vegan,
I did appreciate your fellow vegans got your back.
I do appreciate
And
that.
lesson
Thank you.
learned. You
Thank
can
you.
cry as much as you like.
I will, even if you didn't want me to, I would anyways. So thank you.
And Moses took the blood and put it on the horns of the altar round about with his finger, and purified the altar, and poured out the blood at the base of the altar, and sanctified it to make atonement for it.
He's making a little finger painting on the
That's cute.
on the altar.
He took all the trans fats. Wait, sorry. He took all the fat that was on the innards and the cover of the liver bag, yeah.
Okay,
and
good.
The,
it's now to the point where we got to drink every time they
oh, you're right. The
reference
cover of the
I'm
liver.
fine.
That's
liver
a good
cover.
one, yeah. And the 2 kidneys and their fat, and Moses burned it on the altar, because you don't eat the trans fats. You burn it.
Nah, you burn it.
But the bull and its skin and its flesh and its dung he burnt with fire outside the camp, thank God,
Yeah.
as
Jeez.
Yahweh commanded Moses.
Okay, so they didn't save any of this bowl. The entire thing was destroyed.
Destroyed.
Like none of the priests even got to eat it.
Huh, yeah, I mean...
yeah, that's a good point.
Is the idea because it's a sin offering?
Well,
They did
are they
clarify.
having an offering right now?
It seems that way.
Clearly, yeah.
They did say it's a sin offering.
Oh, okay. I mean, they're just like
It'd be
having...
really funny. They're like, we're not having an offering. We just want to be a dick to this bowl.
Well, I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, who knows? Because
Yeah.
Moses like called over Aaron and all them people.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess so he burned the fats on the altar, but then everything else burned outside the camp. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
He presented the ram of the burnt offering, and Aaron and his sons laid their hands on the head of the ram. He killed it, and Moses sprinkled the blood on the altar round about. He cut the ram into pieces, and Moses burned the head and the pieces and the fat.
So all of it?
It does sound like
Well,
that.
hang on.
but
No. Well, wait. I'm
We'll
confused.
keep going.
Okay.
He washed the innards and the legs with water. Oh, right. I remember that instruction about washing like 2 of the legs with water. There was something weird about that. And Moses burned the whole ram on the altar.
Wait a minute. So he washed it, and then I guess he had to dry it completely and then burn it
I suppose.
because
Maybe.
like it was
Yeah.
all watered
Unless
up.
the altar like burns hot enough that it just
Yeah,
like evaporates
possibly.
off the water, maybe.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know. It was a burnt offering for a sweet savor. It was an offering made by fire to Yahweh, as Yahweh commanded Moses. He presented the other ram, the ram of consecration.
And this ram is like, hey, listen. So,
Hey.
got an appointment on the
Yeah,
other side of the
can we
desert.
not
This
do
is.
this?
Yeah.
I didn't realize this when I was signing up for here.
Yeah. And Aaron and his sons laid their hands on the head of the ram. He killed it, and Moses took some of its blood and put it on the tip of Aaron's right
Oh,
ear.
this again. This has happened before when he
He's
kind of first
sanctifying
ordained them.
them.
Yes.
Wait, where's the tip of one's ear?
I don't know
Is
if
it
it's
the bottom?
earlobe
Is it the lobe?
or if it's the top.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a good question.
I think if you're an elf with pointy ears, it's definitely
Well,
the top.
obviously that's the tip,
But
but,
if
I'm
you-
assuming these people aren't elves,
But
but,
if
maybe
you are
they are.
mortal man, then it's probably the earlobe.
Seems like it would be. I'm actually kind of curious how other translations translate this.
But like the tip of the ear?
The tip
Yeah.
of the ear,
The
the
tip.
point.
Tip of the ear to you.
So this one here says on Aaron's right earlobe.
Oh yeah. I think they said that earlier.
Others say tip. A lot of them say tip of the ear, but then others say lobe of the ear.
Just
Oh,
the tip.
so I'm assuming it's just the tip, but
Mhm.
also the lobe.
Yes.
Right.
Let's say the
Yeah.
lobe. Okay.
Does seem to be the lobe. Okay. All right. That makes more sense. So, like, as if any of that makes sense. maybe this is actually doing the consecration. Maybe that hadn't happened before. You know what I mean? Like, God had given the instructions about like how you have to first sanctify these priests and
Yes.
their clothes. Maybe
Oh, but this is the actual doing
the
of
actual
it?
doing. Maybe we
Sounds
haven't.
on brand for Leviticus.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, good
Okay.
point.
Okay,
We'll
so
just talk about it for a while and then we'll actually do it.
he took some of its blood and put it on the tip of Aaron's right ear, also known as the earlobe, and on the thumb of his right hand, and on the great toe of his right foot. Let me tell you, Aaron had a great toe on that foot,
It happened to be his middle toe.
but it was great. He brought Aaron's sons, and Moses put some of the blood on the tip of their right ear, just one ear between all of them, and on the thumb of their right hand, and on the great toe of their right
That great
foot.
toe is hereditary, as it
Yeah.
turns out.
And Moses sprinkled the blood on the altar round about. He took the fat and the fat tail,
Still, like, what the hell
Yeah.
is the fat tail?
and all the fat that was on the innards, and on the cover of the liver, also
Drink.
known as the liver
Oh,
sac.
right. We got to drink.
Yep, got a drink for that. And the two kidneys,
You got to pour me more sake.
and their fat, and the right thigh. And out of the basket of unleavened bread that was before Yahweh, he took one unleavened cake, and one cake of oiled bread, and one wafer, and placed them on the fat and on the right thigh.
Oh, this is like a little sculpture that's coming together here.
He's kind of building a little tower of
Fat and
Different-
bread, fat and
It's like all the
unleavened
stuff that your
bread.
parents told you not to do when you're eating out at a restaurant. Like, don't
Exactly.
play with your food.
yeah,
Like-
exactly.
Unless you're Moses.
Yeah. He put all these in Aaron's hands. So then, like, stacked
Here,
them up.
Aaron, look what I made you.
He put all these in Aaron's hands and his son's hands and waved them for a wave offering.
Wait, how
before
did he put
Yahweh.
them in their hands, but then he was the one who waved them? Maybe they're holding it together.
Yeah, actually, I was reading about this recently about like the wave offerings and the heave offerings and stuff, and that like apparently, I don't know where this comes from, but there's something like you would hold it together with another person, and one of them involves like kind of rocking them back and forth, like left and right between you, and then the other one involves sort of waving them like toward one person, then toward the other, or like up and down. There's like different configurations of moves that you do, but you are kind of holding it with another person.
Wow,
Interesting.
that's amazing.
Yeah, I don't know where they got this information, but it was somewhere when I was trying to look up content about like what the heck wave offerings and heave offerings are.
Yeah.
Nice.
Let's see. Moses took them from their hands and burned them on the altar on the burnt offering. They were a consecration for a sweet savor. It was an offering made by fire to Yahweh. Moses took the breast
Here we go again.
and waved it
single breast.
for a
The
wave.
party breast.
Yeah, party tit.
Yeah, the party tit. He waved it for a wave offering before Yahweh. It was Moses' portion of the ram of consecration.
Oh, he
As
gets a
Yahweh
little
commanded
something.
Moses. Yeah, he gets
Good for
to
him.
Nice for
munch
him.
on that one.
Nice.
Moses took some of the anointing oil and some of the blood which was on the altar and sprinkled it on Aaron, on his garments, and on his sons.
What would this oil come off though, and the
the
blood?
blood?
Yeah,
Jeez.
right. It's the oil and
This
the
is
blood
really,
together.
Okay,
But also we were just reading about like all this like stuff you have to do if you get blood on the clothes. You have to like wash them and then destroy the vessel
Jeez.
and
But
it's
yeah, that is
confusing.
confusing.
Yeah.
all right.
He sprinkled it on Aaron, on his garments, and on his sons, and on his sons' garments with him, and sanctified Aaron, his garments, and his sons' garments with him. Just to be clear.
Yeah.
Moses said to Aaron and to his sons, "Boil the flesh at the door of the tent of meeting, and there eat it, and the bread that is in the basket of consecration, as I commanded, saying, Aaron and his sons shall eat it."
I don't know about y'all. I could go for some boiled flesh right about now.
That's a no on my part.
What if it was
but
like bean flesh? Like tofu.
I had some bean flesh earlier?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're fine with boiled
good.
bean
Yes,
flesh.
I'm good on my bean flesh intake at the moment, but thank you.
Yeah. Okay. What remains of the flesh and of the bread you shall burn with fire. You shall not go out from the door of the tent of meeting 7 days.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh.
It's like a 7-day lock-in.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
are they going to do in there?
until the days of your consecration are fulfilled. For he shall consecrate you 7 days.
Do they have to fast for 7 days?
Oh,
Like after they eat this thing?
ugh.
Yeah, I guess like what remains of it. Yeah, you got to eat now, and what then remains of it,
You gotta burn, and then is that kind of part of your hazing essentially for becoming the
Yeah.
priesthood?
Yeah, maybe. What has been done this day, so Yahweh has commanded to do, to make atonement for you. At the door of the tent of meeting, you shall stay day and night 7 days, and keep the charge of Yahweh that you don't die. For so I am commanded.
Then he locked them up inside the tent of meeting and said,
Right.
"Bye, have fun."
Yeah, but you got to keep the charge of Yahweh so that you don't die.
Yes,
Because
of
you're
course.
in his house, and if you
Yes.
break his rules, he will make you die.
Yes.
Yeah.
Aaron and his
Strike you
sons. Aaron and his sons did all the things which Yahweh commanded by Moses.
That's good. He didn't have any other golden calf episodes.
Not that we know of.
Well, not yet.
That's true.
Who knows?
We're only in episode, or in, number 9 of Leviticus, which is next. All right, y'all ready for this?
I'm so ready. Ba ba ba.
Do, 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 do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There you
okay.
Okay.
It happened on the 8th day that Moses called Aaron and his sons and the elders of Israel, and he said to Aaron, Take a what? Take a calf. Isn't that kind of like a sore subject? Calves, just in general.
What? They should be
Oh.
avoiding the golden calves thing.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
didn't even think of
Yeah.
that.
Anyways,
Why don't you take one of your favorite calves?
Yeah, you love so
we know that you
much.
love calves. And he's like,
You seem so
"Dude,
good at just
dude,
finding
too
them when
soon."
they just pop out of nowhere.
Yeah, exactly. Take a calf from the herd for a sin offering, and a ram for a burnt offering without blemish, and offer them before Yahweh. You shall speak to the children of Israel, saying, Take a male goat for a sin offering, and a calf and a lamb, both a year old, without blemish, for a burnt offering, and an ox and a ram for a peace offerings, to sacrifice before Yahweh, and a meal offering mixed with oil. For today Yahweh appears to you.
Ooh, exciting.
They brought what Moses commanded before the tent of meeting, and all the congregation drew near and stood before Yahweh. Moses said, This is the thing which Yahweh commanded that you should do, and the glory of Yahweh shall appear to you. Moses said to Aaron,
Okay, hold on. Aaron's been trapped inside the tent of meeting for 7 days.
Yeah, and he
on the 8th
stumbles
day,
out, and he's like,
immediately
"Ugh,
Moses
I can't
is like,
see."
get to work.
Obviously.
Get a calf. Do this thing.
It's kind of how they roll.
But they know that they get to eat parts of those offerings.
So they're like, yes,
They're like, heck
finally.
yeah,
Whatever
So
you
they're like,
say.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes. Okay. Moses said, This is the thing which Yahweh commanded that you shall do, and the glory of Yahweh shall appear to you.
Seems like a good deal.
Yeah. So, oh wait. Did
Yeah,
I
you're
say
good.
5? Okay,
You're
okay.
good.
All right. Moses said to Aaron, Draw near to the altar and offer your sin offering and your burnt offering and make atonement for yourself and for the people and offer the offering of the people and make atonement for them as Yahweh commanded. So Aaron drew near to the altar and killed the calf of the sin offering, which was for himself.
Do you think the calf was for himself to eat, or as in like the sin
The
offering
sin
is for
offering,
his
yeah.
sins because of the calf thing?
I mean, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Presumably he has a lot of
It's
things
some
that he needs
poetic
to atone
justice
for.
there.
Yeah.
Oh, ooh, yeah. Ugh. So, okay, the sons of Aaron presented the blood to him. I don't know how they did that. Did they have like a big carafe of blood?
Well,
Probably.
they gotta collect this somehow.
Ugh. Okay, and he dipped his finger in the blood and put it on the horns of the altar and poured out the blood at the basin of the altar. I hope that they have some sort of grate.
Yeah,
That is
we were talking about
collecting-
this last time. I was like,
Yeah.
there's got to be some kind of drainage system because
Seriously,
it's just
God,
going
it's
on
just
the
like
grain. It's going to be this
all
awful
of this-
bloody mud and
Yeah, God. Ugh. All right. Goodness. So, okay. But the fat and the kidneys and the cover from
the
the
cover
drink.
and the cover from the liver of the sin offering he burned upon the altar as Yahweh commanded Moses. The flesh and the skin he burned with fire outside the camp. He killed the burnt offering, and Aaron's sons delivered the blood to him, and he sprinkled it on the altar round about. They delivered the burnt offering to him, piece by piece, and the head, and he burned them upon the altar. He washed the innards and the legs, and he burned them on the burnt offering on the altar.
And all of Aaron's sons are like, Dad, the faster you get through this, the faster we can eat. Like, please,
Yeah.
Like, just hurry
keep it
up.
coming, please.
He presented the people's offering and took the goat of the sin offering, which was for the people. Oh, so all of the
I
other
guess the other
people
one was
get
for them,
one
and
single
now-
goat, but not even all of the goat. Okay.
Not for them to eat, this for their sins.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Remember earlier we had
Oh,
like
yeah,
if a
yeah,
people
yeah.
have sinned, if
It's a
a
goat,
priest
if a
sins,
whatever.
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, so he killed it and he offered it for sin like the first. Oh, thank you for not like going
Yeah,
through the
wow.
whole dang thing again.
That was really refreshing.
Like the
That was-
first.
Can we just like
Yeah,
round of
thank you,
applause
Bible.
for
Bible,
Leviticus
wow.
right now? Yeah.
Gosh, okay. He presented the burnt offering and offered it according to the ordinance.
Again, my
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah,
again.
wow.
all right,
All right,
round of
all right.
applause.
Yeah, and they're like,
All
we
right.
understand this is getting repetitive. We understand. He presented the meal offering and filled his hand from there and burned it upon the altar beside the burnt offering of the morning. He also killed the ox and the ram and
Like,
the
yeah,
sacrifice
yeah,
of peace
yeah,
offerings,
yeah.
which is for the people. And
Wow.
Aaron's sons delivered to him the blood, which he sprinkled on the altar round about, and the fat of the ox and of the ram, the fat tail, and that which covers the innards,
Here it comes.
and the kidneys, and the cover of the liver.
Everybody
Drink.
drink.
You two at home now. And they put the fat upon the breasts.
Oh.
Both breasts this time, not just a single breast. And he burned the fat on the altar. And the breasts and the right thigh, Aaron waved for a wave offering. I just like see these, like boobs in the air just being waved.
Waving around.
Just waving and a random thigh. Yeah. Okay, so he waved them for a wave offering before Yahweh as Moses commanded. Aaron lifted up his hands toward the people and blessed them. And he came down from offering the sin offering and the burnt offering and the peace offerings. Moses and Aaron went into the tent of meeting. So
We did go in.
Yes.
Both of
Now
them.
officially for sure.
Yes.
yeah, for sure. And came out and blessed all the no, just bless the people, not all the people. And blessed the people, and the glory of Yahweh appeared to all the people.
Wait, appeared to all the people.
Oh, well, the glory of Yahweh, not necessarily Yahweh, but the glory
Yes.
of him.
What do you suppose that looked like?
Like,
like
a
glowing?
big, glowy
Definitely.
gold light. Like my gold quip.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm envisioning, I don't know, like something,
Yeah.
I don't know, when it's like someone has like a mirror far away and they're reflecting the sun right into your eyes. And
Oh,
you're like,
yeah. And you're like, glowy, glowy. It's the God
Oh, it's such
of
glory.
Yahweh.
Such painful glory. That's what I imagine.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, what
I
do you
like it.
imagine, Jace?
I guess I was kind of trying to think of other imagery we've gotten so far in the Bible, and I was like, maybe it's like a big like tower of smoke or
Huh.
fire
Oh.
or something that
Okay.
kind of appears
All
out
right.
of the tent,
Interesting.
like or appears in front of the tent.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so there came forth fire from before Yahweh and consumed the burnt offering and the fat upon the altar. When all the people saw it, they shouted
Ugh.
and fell on their faces. Right on their little faces.
Right on their faces.
They were like, ah! and
I'm
fell
assuming,
on
I'm
their
assuming this
faces.
is like a Wayne's World, like we're not worthy on your
Yeah,
faces, not
yeah.
like literally fell onto
Maybe
their
some
I
faces.
mean,
people
I
did.
hope that they fell on their faces, that they just like tripped like all of a
at
sudden.
once, yeah.
Well, okay. Do you think? I mean, okay. So on first glance, it seems like this like holy fire came down to consume the offering. But I'm like, this is a lot of fat that you're suddenly throwing onto a fire. Would that act as fuel? Would it just be like?
Oh.
Would it act like lighter fluid?
Maybe.
I don't know. I've never burned pure fat in a fire, so I don't know.
I certainly can't say that I have either, but perhaps.
Well, apparently we need to try this so that we can see.
Yeah, let's.
Oh, that sounds like a
nuts.
good way to burn off all of our eyebrows. And I
Yeah.
don't know about you, but I think we all have pretty good looking eyebrows, and the world could stand to have those around at least for a little while longer.
I mean, honestly, I usually fill mine
I
in
see.
a bit, but
so do I. It's all right.
oh, good.
Yeah,
I'm glad that
just
I'm
a
not
little
the
bit.
only one.
Just a little bit. It's okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. I mean, that sounds like a grease fire. you know,
Grease
like,
lightning.
and think about it, like a grease fire, like you can't even throw water on it. Water won't put it out. And so like that would seem like a pretty amazing thing, right?
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, the fact that they fell on their faces, though, you know what I mean? It just seems
Hey, if
like...
a grease fire erupted in my face, I would definitely be like, and fall down on my face.
Okay.
Jeez.
What do you look like you're furiously Googling over there, Jace. What's going on?
I mean, the things that he's like looking up, he said, what happens if you set fat on fire?
Oh, see,
And the
I
things
also
that are
Googled
coming
throwing
up-
fat on a fire.
The things that are coming up include Queen, Fat Bottom Girls, and...
Yeah, I'm getting a weird mix of results.
Yeah, oh,
Sure.
here we go. Here's someone who's
So this is
firelicious.
fire policeman.
Firefighter? Is that
Firefighters.
what you're...
Oh, look, he's putting fat on this fire right
Is he?
now.
Is that what that
Or no,
is?
he's putting water on a fat fire.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That's,
And it-
whoa!
yeah,
Freaking
Whoa!
explodes.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that
yeah, that's
was
why you're not supposed to
insanity.
put water on a grease fire.
And they're like, only
Let this-
you can prevent fat
no,
fires.
PSA, if you get a grease fire in your kitchen, do the two of you know what you're supposed to do to put it out?
Salt?
I don't know if salt's going to be super effective.
A fire extinguisher.
A blanket.
That possibly could.
Get rid of the oxygen.
I think I've heard urban legends say flour, but I think the most effective is like if you have a way to cover it, essentially. But yeah, to kind of deprive it of oxygen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a blanket, wet blanket, perhaps.
tell
Seal it up
you-
in saran wrap.
Brilliant.
Did I tell you all about how when I was in Shanghai, I set those ramen noodles on fire?
What? No.
Yeah, I was making myself like a little like vegan pad thai, as you know, per usual, and I accidentally like set some of them on fire, and I was like, well, I really don't want the entire building to have to evacuate right now. That would be terrible. So I just ended up like throwing them all down the sink, fire and all, and then put some water on it, and we were good to go. But I was like, damn it, I need to like make some more noodles now and try very hard not to set those ones on
That's
fire.
probably the right choice. As sad as it was to lose the noodles, it would have been very embarrassing to make the whole building evacuate over some burnt up noodles.
Yeah, for some like idiot just
well,
set
it's
them
okay.
on
It was
fire.
Emily. It was a sacrifice. It was a
You're
sweet
right.
savor to the Lord.
Right. It was a meal offering.
Yes.
I
It really
guess.
didn't have much of a scent.
Did
at
you
that
wave
point.
it? Did you wave
I
it
mean,
around?
No, I just like carefully, like very calmly.
Wait. Okay. Hang on. How exactly did that happen?
Was
that
it
you set
not
them
in
on
water?
fire?
So, okay, no, it was in water, but they were kind of like, you know, when noodles like kind of stand up and they don't like fall down into the bowl
So
yet.
the edges-
They stood up, and I guess I had the heat on too high.
I see, and the
so
edges
on the
caught on
edge of
fire.
it, they set on fire, and then I was like, and it was not, you know, it wasn't not a sizable fire.
It wasn't not a sizable fire.
It was not a sizable fire. It was a sizable fire.
There have been times where I've had a pot on a gas stove, and I've, instead of using like a pot holder or an oven mitt, I've used just like a dish towel to grab it.
Yeah.
And like a couple times the dish towel has fallen into the flame and caught on fire.
God. Yeah.
And
Right,
that's
like
been
underneath
great.
the pot. Yeah, it's a good time. It's a good
Never
time.
anything bad's happened, knock on wood. But
Yeah.
That's good.
with all those fire stories, let's go on to Leviticus chapter 10. Nadab and Abihu, the sons of Aaron, each took his censer,
What's a censer?
like a thing with incense in it, that thing that priests swing around.
You know, a censer.
Yeah. And put fire in it, and laid incense on it, and offered strange fire before Yahweh, which he had not commanded them. What?
What is strange fire?
Jace, you have to look up other translations.
Yeah, I'm
Stra-
looking.
the
I'm
strangest
on
of fires.
I'm on
I've just,
it.
I honestly
never
though,
seen a stranger
this is the,
fire.
This is the most interested and engaged I've been in weeks.
Well, there we are.
See, I told you we were going
Because
to
it
move
breaks,
on to
it breaks
exciting
the
things.
pattern, and I'm like, ooh, what's going to happen with this strange
strange
fire
fire.
that Yahweh
Ooh.
did not command?
I mean, okay. Let's see. Each took an incense pan. They put fire and incense on them and offered unauthorized fire before the Lord,
Oh God!
Wait,
which
oh
he
my
had
God.
not commanded them.
Oh my god, read the next part.
Okay,
Wait, hold on. I'm reading other translations first. Well, I'll look those up too, though.
can you pour me some more sake in the meantime?
Yes.
Give it to me.
Okay. Oh, I see. So One is that he put live coals in his incense thing and presented it to the Lord, but this fire was not holy because the Lord had not commanded him to present it.
He was just like trying to earn points. He was
He's
trying
like,
to be
guys,
proactive.
look at this cool stuff. Oh, sorry.
He was
God,
trying
look
to
at
be a
this
good
cool,
boy.
Cool fire.
Look at this cool fire. Oh, maybe he was trying to do like fire spinning.
Oh, and God was like, no.
He's like,
doing
that's
some
dangerous. Don't do that. He's spinning.
He's
some
like, you're
poi.
in a tent. What the
Yeah.
hell are you thinking?
Right.
Okay, well, listen what happens.
Okay. And fire came forth from before Yahweh and devoured them.
What?
And devoured them, and they died before Yahweh.
Whoa.
What?
Whoa. Wow.
Now, to be fair, it's been a while since we had a quick Yahweh strike them down kind of death.
Yeah, I mean, thanks,
Yeah.
Yahweh, like, for adding some excitement.
They were just like trying to do something good. It's like they weren't even like violating some law or some rule or sinning. They were like, we're trying to offer something else to Yahweh.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron creates this freaking calf, and he just
He
gets a
doesn't get
slap
killed.
on the
Yeah, that's
wrist.
true.
But God forbid, like, fire breathing or whatever Nabid and
Wait,
Abidu
hang on.
did.
Hang
What?
on.
Yeah.
I have a theory.
What?
What if it was actually that Nadab and Abihu lit up some incense, caught the place on fire, being idiots, and burned the place to the ground?
Well, no, that's what I was going to say. Like my joke about them spinning poi or whatever was a joke, but now I'm like, no, actually, maybe that's
like,
they were just being kids. They were goofing around and they lit some fat on fire.
But then
then-
Yahweh was like, I'm going to murder you?
No, I think this is the explanation afterwards.
right, I'm saying like they're doing this ceremony and they're like, choke this out, and they're like doing fire tricks, and that like falls on some fat, and then they put water on it, and right, they burn themselves up, and then everyone's like, oh snap, they were being irresponsible, and Yahweh punished
Yahweh
them.
must have punished them.
I'm just saying it's possible.
Makes
I don't know.
perfect sense. Okay.
Jeez.
Then Moses said to Aaron, well, that was messed up.
No, that's not what he says,
That was
though.
unexpected.
Then Moses said to Aaron, this is what Yahweh spoke of, saying, I will show myself holy to those who come near me, and before all the people I will be glorified. Aaron held his peace.
So Moses is
Wow.
like, don't worry about your kids, bro. This is what Yahweh said he was going
And
to do.
Aaron
You didn't
bit
really
his
like
freaking
those.
tongue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those two were your least favorite, anyways. No problem. Jeez, but seriously though, yikes!
Oh, okay. Moses called Mishael and Elzaphan, the sons of Uziel, the uncle of Aaron, and said to them,
So his cousins.
or no, his nephews. Wait, no, yes, his cousins. You're
Yes.
right. Sorry. Okay. Draw near, carry your brothers from before the sanctuary out of the camp. Oh.
Jeez.
So they drew near and carried them in their coats out of the camp, as
Yikes.
Moses had said. Gosh.
These like burned
charred.
alive
Yeah.
kids.
Moses said to Aaron and to Eleazar and to Ithamar, his sons, don't let the hair of your heads go loose. Neither tear your clothes, that you don't die, and that he not be angry with all the congregation. But let your brothers, the whole house of Israel, bewail the burning which Yahweh has kindled. You shall not go out from the door of the tent of meeting, lest you die, for the anointing oil of Yahweh is on you. Oh gosh, they were
What?
oily
Oil.
too.
They were oily boys, and
that's-
that's why the
that's-
fire burned them up.
Yikes!
Gosh.
That, wow.
It just goes from bad to worse, man.
It's interesting, too, though, that he's like, don't do the things you would normally do to mourn, like tearing your clothes and ripping out your hair or whatever. Like, don't do that even though you're sad, because then you'll surely die.
Whoa.
Because, like, we're doing a ceremony right now.
Yeah, so like that comes first, Obvi.
Yeah.
Yikes!
Wow.
Definitely
Jeez,
didn't learn about this
God.
part. Had
No.
no,
Yeah, I
idea.
bet you did. I bet
Yeah.
you didn't.
This
And
is
who
brand new
did?
to me. I don't know who
did?
did. I don't know.
Wow.
Okay. You shall not go out from the door. Okay, yeah. Okay, got it. They did according to the word of Moses. Yahweh spoke to Aaron, saying, drink no wine, nor strong drink.
Because it'll light on fire.
Exactly. You nor your sons with you when you go into the tent of meeting, that you don't die. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations, and that you are to make a distinction between the holy and the common, and between the unclean and the clean, and that you are to teach the children of Israel all the statutes which Yahweh has spoken to them by Moses. Okay.
Okay.
Interesting.
Wow. Okay, yeah.
Moses spoke to Aaron and to Eleazar and to Ithamar, his sons who were left.
Whoa.
Oh, man.
So he had 4
Jeez.
sons, and these are the only 2 that are left?
Apparently.
Yeah.
God.
Yikes.
Take the meal offering that remains of the offerings of Yahweh made by fire, and eat it without yeast beside the altar, for it is most holy.
And
you
yeast
shall
is not holy.
Yes,
Yeah.
clearly.
No.
And you
We
shall
hate
eat
that.
it in a holy place, because it is your portion and your son's portion of the offerings of Yahweh made by fire, for so I am commanded. The waved breast and the heaved thigh you shall eat in a clean place, you and your sons and your daughters. Oh, the daughters finally get
wow,
a shout
wow.
out. And your daughters with you, for they are given as your portion and your son's portion out of the sacrifices of the peace offerings of the children of Israel. The heaved thigh and the waved breast they shall bring with the offerings made by fire of the fat, to wave it for a wave offering before Yahweh, and it shall be yours, and your sons with you as a portion forever, as Yahweh has commanded.
Do you suppose the daughters get to eat it now because there's 2 fewer sons?
Oh no!
Oh, that's a good point.
Maybe they were
Maybe.
big eaters. And so Yahweh's like, well, we
Well,
got enough now.
Got extra goat around.
Yeah.
Okay.
You ladies want to get in on this?
Moses diligently inquired about the goat of the sin offering. What does that look like? He's just like knocking on doors and
Oh, I was thinking like everyone's
me?
kind of feeling exhausted by all this emotion. And he's like, actually, though, I'm so sorry to interrupt, but like we actually still need to do this one more offering
Yeah.
here.
So, come on, everyone.
Moses.
Back to the
Gosh.
camp.
About that goat that we'd gotten
Yeah,
earlier.
where is it?
Where's
Can
that
you
now? Yeah.
give it?
Okay.
Thanks?
So Moses diligently inquired about the goat of the sin offering, and behold, it was burned.
Of course it was.
And he was angry with Eleazar and with Ithamar, the sons of Aaron who were left, saying, "Why haven't you eaten the sin offering in the place of the sanctuary, seeing it is most holy, and he has given it to you to bear the iniquity of the congregation, to make atonement for them before Yahweh? Behold, its blood was not brought into the inner part of the sanctuary. You certainly should have eaten it in the sanctuary as I commanded." God, and they're like, our brothers just died,
Yeah,
man.
I'm sorry. Like, chill out.
Yeah.
We've eaten a lot of weird animal parts today. Can you calm down?
Yeah.
Okay. Aaron spoke to Moses, "Behold, this day they have offered their sin offering and their burnt offering before Yahweh, and such things as these have befallen me.
Right?
And if I had eaten the sin offering today, would it have been pleasing in the sight of Yahweh?" When Moses heard that, it was pleasing in his sight.
What?
Okay. I gotta look up some other translations
like
of these last 2 verses here.
Some of these were a little
That
convoluted.
was weird. What was that whole interaction about?
Yeah, seriously. I want to look at the message here.
Okay.
Okay, so Aaron replied to Moses, "Look, they sacrificed their absolution offering and whole burnt offering before God today. And you see what has happened to me? I've lost 2 sons. Do you
Yeah.
think God would have been pleased if I had gone ahead and eaten the absolution offering today?" Okay, so that kind of is what I gathered that he was saying.
Yeah.
And then let me look at the next, that last verse there, the short one. If it wants to go, apparently it doesn't want to load. That's cool. Good times, internet. Okay, here we go. And then this is, when Moses heard this response, he accepted it.
Okay.
Moses is like, fine,
Like, fine, I'll give you a pass this time.
I guess.
Wow.
Maybe that's, yeah. I guess
Wow.
Moses is really like diligent in
Yeah.
that sort of annoying way.
Oh, totally.
Right? Of like, no, we've got to see
He's definitely
this
the rule
through.
follower for sure.
Oh,
At
yeah.
least for now, he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Much
Yeah.
more so than
My goodness,
Aaron.
y'all. This was, I mean, there was a lot of dark stuff that happened this week,
Yeah.
but this was so refreshing to have some action after so many chapters
Yeah,
of
I
just
mean,
like, this is how
killing
you're
or
going to cut
two.
up different animals.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I wasn't completely correct that we were done with learning about sacrifices, but at least
Yes.
this was like
Something
action-packed
happened, yes.
stuff happened, and it was doing them instead of just learning about how you will do them in the future.
Totally.
But yeah, that I didn't really did not expect that dark turn that took.
Okay.
Yeah.
But do you want tiny hints about what's going to happen next?
Sure, tiny.
Yeah.
We're going to get into some of the good stuff of Leviticus. Like, we're going to talk about which animals are clean and unclean based on what they eat
good
and based
stuff.
on what their feet are like. We're going to talk about what happens when you give birth. We're going to talk about circumcision again.
More circumcision, great.
We're going to talk about leprosy and like what happens when someone's sick and what happens when someone's going bald. Like,
What?
we're getting into some of the good stuff of Leviticus, of like the real specific stuff.
Yeah,
Wow.
like the yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I'm excited. I'm excited for that. I'm
Yes,
excited to get
Emily, it's
into
definitely going to
that.
make you angry.
Yeah, I'm sure all of that will.
Rest
and
assured.
If y'all want to see me angry next week, tune in. You know you do.
Thank you for joining us for Bible study today. If you want even more Drunk Bible Study, including bonus episodes, new series, guest interviews, and more, become one of our patrons at patreon.com/drunkbiblestudy. If you enjoy the show, take a moment to subscribe and then write us a nice review on iTunes or Stitcher, letting other people know what you like about it. Find us on Twitter at Drunk Bible Cast, on Instagram at Drunk Bible Study, or send us an email at info@drunkbiblestudy.com. Drunk Bible Study is created and produced by Emily Matlack, Dedeker Winston, and me, Jace Lindgren. Our theme song is Book Club by Josh and Anand from their album Home of the. The theme song for the Book of Leviticus is Jet Powered Vixen by Kevin MacLeod. For more information, visit us at drunkbiblestudy.com.